morning, puppy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what's up? All of my social media is linked down below if you're interested in checking any of that out. What we're going to be doing today is actually one of you guys recently commented on one of my videos and wanted to see my morning routine at the clinic. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I thought that was such a great idea. If you like this video, then please let me know in the comments down below, and then maybe I can do a part 2 of like what I do in the evenings at work. Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, so the first thing that I do when I come in is try to wake up because I get to work at 6:45 in the morning. We do have boarders. We have our feline hospital, our canine hospital, and then our isolation. Our feline and canine hospitals, that's where a lot of our boarders hang out. So we do have kennel assistants that come in and take care of the boarders. Anything that's in isolation is usually being hospitalized, usually severely sick. So those types of patients I will take care of because usually they're on IV fluids and they're getting a bunch of injections and medications that morning. So that is something that I will do. And I'm gonna look at the schedule for today and see what surgeries we have, what appointments we have. But on Mondays and Wednesday mornings, we do have surgery. It's our surgery day. And then after lunch, we'd see appointments like vaccines. We'll see sick patients. So today is surgery day. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get our surgery suite set up. I'm gonna get our dental area set up. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So basically what I'm doing is getting our x-ray machine set up so we can take our dental radiographs. I'm going to be getting the dental machine itself put together, also our anesthesia equipment and all of our monitoring equipment, because we do monitor blood pressure, heart rate, respiratory rate. Also, we monitor how much CO2 and oxygen is in their system as well.
In between, tried to square not being there.
So once 7 o'clock hits, we start taking in patients between 7 and 8 in the morning. Once my patient gets here, they're gonna come in through the lobby, they'll get checked in at the reception, and the receptionist is gonna put them in one of these exam rooms. I know that it's time for me to go in the exam room when there's a chart in the door, and these flags just let me know that they're ready for me to go into the room. So I'm gonna take their chart and figure out what they're here for. I make sure I have all the forms that I need. There's a bunch of consent forms on here that I have to get the owner to sign before a procedure. I have to make sure the pet hasn't eaten. I'm gonna look him over really good and make sure that there are no abnormalities before surgery this morning, and that's it. So I'm gonna go check this patient in. So once I have taken the patient away from its owner, I do bring them back to our treatment area. This little guy is getting his dental cleaning today. So every procedure, every surgery that requires sedation and anesthesia, everyone gets an IV catheter, which is what I'm doing right now. It just lets them get IV fluids throughout their procedure so they don't get dehydrated, and also in case of emergency, if anything were to happen, we do have access to a vein if we do need to administer any kind of emergency medication. With that being said, anesthesia is actually extremely safe if it's done properly. If you are going to have complications under anesthesia, it's usually once they're waking up. Guys, I've been doing this for 7 years and I've only lost one patient under anesthesia. So my doctor usually arrives at the clinic around 8 o'clock, and so I have all of my patients checked in. I have everyone's IV catheter placed. I have everyone's pre-medicine pulled up, ready to go. And by the time she gets here, she can examine her patients. We can go ahead and give them their medication, and then we can get them ready for surgery. My doctor will go and start on her spays, her neuters, her orthopedic surgeries, whatever we have for that day, and then I'll start getting our dental cleanings, our dental x-rays, oral exams taken care of. I've had a bunch of those procedures in my past vlogs, so if you're interested, you can go check it out. So once my doctor gets in that morning, she goes through and looks at all of the patients that are getting surgery or going under anesthesia that day. And while she's performing her surgical procedures, I get started on all of our dental cleaning, oral exam, and full mouth radiographs for that day. I usually do about 3 of these in a day. And while I am performing the radiographs and the cleaning, I do have an assistant that is with me the entire time, that their sole job is to monitor my patient. The little girl you see with the long braid, she actually was volunteering that day. She wanted to shadow us and see what it's like to work in a veterinary clinic, so that's who that is, and she was super sweet. So after the full mouth radiographs, I do take a before picture to show the owner what the teeth look like and then what they look after they are clean so they can see the difference. I have an entire video dedicated to just dental cleanings, oral exams, and full mouth radiographs. If you're interested in checking that out, I will have it linked down below. But I'm basically just scaling his teeth, then I'm going to go through and polish, and then I'll probe each individual tooth and checking for any kind of periodontal pockets, any fractures, anything like that. So this guy ended up having a periodontal pocket. What a pocket is when my probe can go down underneath the gum line 6 millimeters or greater. Depending on the size of the dog, the millimeter changes whether or not it's going to cause a problem for the animal. It's super easy to fix and not very expensive. What I'm doing is basically just filling it with this gel substance that hardens and closes that pocket. It's basically where the gum and the tooth are no longer attached, which causes the issue for that tooth. That's where the bacteria and the hair and the pus and everything sits. So it's very important that the pocket gets closed. Otherwise, that pocket is going to continue to get bigger and the tooth will eventually have to be extracted.
Tried to square, not being there, but said that I.
Unfortunately, this guy also had a severely fractured tooth. That black hole is the pulp. So I'm applying a nerve block and then my doctor is going to go through and extract that tooth. Fractures like this are extremely painful for the pet and the tooth is not viable, so it has to be extracted. There's no other option. So my doctor basically elevates the gum line to reach the roots and then she's going to drill the roots out, as you see. I know it looks like it might be painful and it totally would be, but we give our patients lots of very good pain medicine and anti-inflammatories and we send them home with medication as well. So once the tooth has been extracted, I'll go through and pack the hole where the tooth was with a synthetic bone graft so that there's not just a giant hole in his mouth. The bone will regrow and reattach where it's supposed to, and then I'm going to suture the hole closed, and that's it with this guy. So once I finished suturing, I took him off his anesthesia and I sat with him until he was completely awake, and then once his temperature is normal and he's standing up and walking around fine, I'll call his parents and let them know that he did just fine, and then he'll get to go home that evening. I had 2 other dental procedures that I did this day, and then once they were all done, we started seeing our drop-offs that came in that morning, either for their vaccines or their sick appointments, and once we finished that, it was time for lunch.
Lonely water, lonely water, won't you let us wander, let us hold.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!